Okay, next up is St. John of Las Vegas, and this is one of those movies I truly wanted to be great. Because the great and unjustifiably underrated Steve Buscemi is the star. And it has a slew of awesome supporting performers, including comedians Sarah Silverman, Romani Malco, Peter Dinklage, Tim Blake Nelson, and John Cho. You'd think that we'd have something here, something amazing here. But really, we don't. And that's what makes me want to cry, really. The big problem with this movie is that nothing makes sense, and it doesn't even try to. Some may argue this is trying to follow in the tradition of a team of directors, of course, that Buscemi has worked with in the past, the Coen brothers. Their movies don't make a lot of sense either, but they're not trying to. They're actually trying not to try to make sense, if that makes any sense. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. Anyway, clearly the makers of this film wanted something to make sense, but didn't really try hard. And it just built a plot on self-reliance, and it doesn't work here, people. Come on. Anyway, Buscemi plays John, an insurance adjuster, given a new partner played by Malco, who many of you may remember who was very funny in The 40-Year-Old Virgin. And he's actually quite good here. As a matter of fact, everyone is good here. But that is not the problem. The two set off to Las Vegas. I gave the point that they're trying to pass off the world that they live in as the actual realm of hell. And while the idealism here is quite creative and original, it just relies on the aspects alone, and to make sense of things, and it does not. Buscemi is perfect, absolutely perfect for this type of role. It's a movie that was written for him, and he can easily play a hapless loser that we enjoy, and we've seen in many of his other films. Silverman is as good as the part saint, part temptress character of Jill, and I wish she'd do movies more often. Malco is really good as a guide, and whose character seems to draw from experience. That's the only really resounding translation I got here. All characters are pretty much apparently drawn from biblical influence, but really the effort to drive that point home just did not translate very well onto the screen. And it's as if they had a great idea here, but the execution was nothing overly special. Steve Buscemi, in my opinion, is perhaps the most underrated actor of all time. He has a look to him, a very distinctive look. Some may call it ugly, I just call it, I think he stands out. And you're instantly drawn into everything that he does because he just looks that way. And it's whether he's playing a likable loner in films like Ghost World, or a darkly comedic psycho in a film like Fargo, or even an action film like Con Air. Having even small funny roles in Adam Sandler films, or being a scene-stealing, wisecracking big mouth in such films as Armageddon, or more recently in Youth and Revolt. Buscemi is just so appealing that when I read his name on the credits for a film, I automatically just get anxious to see what he's going to do. He's just that type of actor. He's top-notch here, but needed a better film to go with it. Now, here's what's going to surprise you. That said, I'm recommending this film based on his performance and based on the performances of all the others here. They really help carry a hapless film to be watchable. I wasn't bored, I was just frustrated. The fact of the matter is, I think Buscemi really has an Oscar nomination in him. Sadly, this is not it. I'm just disappointed it wasn't better because it had the wheels to be. It's almost like the film the Coen brothers should have done, but sadly they didn't, and it may have been the classic if they did. So I was on the fence here, but I give St. John of Las Vegas a very marginal 3 stars out of 5.